Everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today, Baker up once again by Jake, as today we are going over a video that neither one of us are part of, but it is Nick taking on Nick. We have full-size Goku taking on Xeno Goku. Like always, his buttons, links, check them out. But let's get into it. What's up, Jake?
What's going on, man?
Unfortunately, neither one of the guys could join us today for this, but you played against Red. I know pretty much the cards he is playing. And I did play against Goku, which I think we've all have played against that really, so we kind of know what the strategy is there. Overrealm, overrealm, overrealm.
Yeah, I mean, Xeno Goku's just only really gotten stronger ever since it came out, and I think now it's finally in a pretty good position to be a solid playable deck in its color.
Especially with body and soul, that just adds an extra like skill, if I recall correctly, with that leader.
Yeah.
For those of you who aren't aware, full size Goku has not really been relevant whatsoever. But in the anniversary, we did have Pan believing in her grandfather, which it's a card that makes you get rid of 2 super combos, but it gives your opponent battle cards so that way you kind of fulfill the leader's effects, get that Quadstrike off, which I guess could be nice, but at the cost of 2 super combos.
Yeah, I think the effect is really cool and unique, and because of that, I understand why you can't, like, they want you to dump super combos, right? So your quad strike is a little bit limited, so you can't really combo to the moon, but there's a super combo in this game that has 30k combo power on it. Like,
Yeah.
I think maybe discarding one super combo would have been restrictive enough to kind of go for what this theme is trying to do while also limiting its power a little bit, but we'll see if that ends up if I end up getting proven wrong as the game goes on.
I'm
Now,
gonna come in off the top rope here. I was hiding in the shadows under the ring, about to pop out, slipping the Sting mask off to reveal that I'm still Sting. Uh, I wanna sing the praises of that Pan card, because that card is incredible.
Oh, the design is great.
Yeah, and since it plays the cards in rest mode with their skills negated as well, since you get to peek the hand, you could just, if their opponent happens to have super combos, you rip those super combos. And if you really want to like break it down and like math it out, you can end up getting 30k of combo power out of your opponent's hand. And if you want to say you apply that to your leader, that's plus 30 to your leader Quadstrike as well. So like while you do drop the 2 super combos, and it is a weird way of playing a card, it can do some crazy shit in the right situation. But then again, it's niche.
yeah. And I think I overheard both you and Nick Prime talking about this. We see that he charged an EDK. He has an EDK in his hand. He plays it at like a 4-off. Like he's going the hand control route, I think, in this deck too, isn't he?
For the most part, yeah, he does run river hands. He can easily switch in to just make you dump your entire hand and attack you with a 20k Quadstrike, and you're going to die to it because you have no hand. But anyway, I'm gonna get escorted to the back of the stage here by security because I'm not supposed to be part of this match. But goodbye.
Take care. So what we've also just witnessed though is Goku literally doing what it did. Nick Overrealm then for one energy played the Mass Saiyan from I think last year's anniversary, and is just applying 2 different crits on him. So
Yeah, warped his battle card too. This is a lot of pressure for turn 2. Uh, Hand control decks like we were talking about, and granted, this is the pivots into hand control, but hand control decks generally want the game to go on for a little while so they can grind out that pressure like slowly over time. And with the amount of pressure he's under right now, it's going to be really difficult to win through that kind of game plan. So I'm interested to see where he takes it from here.
And I guess with Nick in this situation, none of the cards he played really gave him any draws. Yes, the Supreme Kai in the end will be a great combo card for him as long as he can keep it and he keeps his hand low enough. But we're talking about hand control, and the more the game goes on, the more pressure Nick Red could do to Prime's hand.
Yeah. So while we're under a tighter turn clock, the opponent really isn't drawing a lot either. So any hand control that we do have is going to be doubly effective. I didn't really think about that aspect of it. Is Xeno Goku a draw 2 leader?
No, he's a hybrid if I recall correctly. He's from set 11 back when they kind of started doing that stuff.
Yeah, I kind of like hybrid leaders. Kind of a little bit of a best of both worlds situation.
I will say going from a restand 2 meta to a hybrid felt really good, and going back to a draw going to a draw 2 meta feels rough sometimes because like you don't want to awaken all the time because like it's freely to do during your opponent's turn because you just get draw advantage, but then you lose out on that either bonus energy during your turn or that one last energy you need to negate an attack during your opponent's turn.
And I think that's part of why we're seeing both of these players experiment with older leaders here. Like I'm pretty sure Full Size is a restand 2 leader, and then Xeno Goku here is a hybrid. So
he is a restand too. Yes.
Yeah. So this is almost like a reaction to the draw 2 leaders on the of the newer sets.
And we just saw he swung with that. I think it was from set 20 Goku. And Nick practically comboed like 2 cards from his hand and then Kai as well, just to stop the attack from going through. I think it's a double strike innately, and I think he didn't want to go down to 3 life.
Yeah, but at this stage of the game, 3 and 4 aren't really that different for you because the opponent's leader can quad strike you under certain conditions. So I might have taken the damage here and then maybe even activated this negate and gone down to 2 and really just defended those last couple life just to build up some hand size against this green deck. Although he hasn't seen much hand control yet other than the EDK and the energy, so that might not be part of his thought process as he's carrying out his turns here.
So we got Demigra on board, which makes Demigra so great. It's the wormhole, and I think it's a skill I think only exists on 2 cards in total. Our expert would know that, but he got pulled away from the stage, unfortunately. But
there are more cards with wormhole.
Is there more? I thought there was only 2.
There's the Demigra leader.
I forgot about the leader. Yeah,
there is a Overwhelm card that lets you choose between gaining wormhole and another effect. I don't remember. And there might be another one. I don't know.
The only ones I think of is Toki Toki City and this Unison most of the time.
Toki Toki City doesn't have wormhole.
Is it not?
No.
What's the field? Isn't there a field card that has it?
The field card lets your Overwhelm stay on the field.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why we have the expert hiding somewhere in the background. But this will allow Nick to overwhelm twice, especially using this leader, because this leader allows you to put cards back into your drop as well, which he's doing right now, I think, as part of the activate main.
Yeah, I really like where they went with Xeno Goku. He puts cards back in the drop area from the warp to encourage multiple overwhelms. And then when he attacks on the backside, if you have 12 or more battle cards in your warp, he gets a power boost.
8, I think it is.
Yeah, okay. So the strategy they wanted you to implement here is right on the card.
Yeah, here it is. I think it's for every 8. Yeah. During your turn, this card gets 5,000 power for every 8 battle cards in your warp. So yeah. So and that's why like what the Ravager Vegeta is so good because it just gives you extra cards to mill off of, and as long as you're playing a deck that could just like he plays the secret rare Flesh Malice, the Cumber one, and he plays like the trunks that gets played from the warp as well for like 2 energy. So he has ways of just like using those cards that do get milled, do get put into the warp to keep the deck going without having to worry about those didn't go to my hand. 'Cause I remember like back in the day when you have a burst deck and you're like, well shit, what do I do when that card goes in the drop? This deck has solutions for that still.
Yeah, speaking of Vegeta the Ravager, here he comes. Little 15k crit body, no energy to play, just really solid piece for the deck.
And he is under dormant right now. So like I think this is his last attack.
2 left. Oh, that's rough.
And EDKing the Kai, that's rough too.
Yeah, it's a good hit.
Now with 3 open energy, it's not much he can do at this point. He could probably play the boo, which he's gonna do. Yep, and then use his activate main to eat the 18 to give it block to give it plus 25k.
Yeah, and it's a good blocker, is what I was gonna say.
Just a form of protection.
Really solid defense piece.
We're going to turn 3 with Nick. This isn't the Quadstrike turn. He needs to survive at least one more turn of Nick Prime's like kind of board state, unless he's gonna focus on clearing that off this turn.
You know, when I played against Nick Red in this event, I was playing Jiren, and he was being pretty careful not to clear my board as much as he could, so he could try and benefit from that leader effect without having to do too much, on his end. So if I know his strategy here, I think he's just going to try and go for the life. Maybe rip a couple cards out of the hand and take a couple more.
As I was saying that, I realized those cards went straight back to the warp, so like the board present immediately disappeared.
Yeah, so I think here he's either going to focus on just ending the game or just ripping what remaining resources Nick's got here, and then he won't really have to worry about a crackback too much.
So we got some promo cards coming this way. The first one he's playing is Chi-Chi, joined by Destiny, which is, I love the 2 green cards that we got for promos. Unfortunately, I don't got them yet, but I love the World Martial Arts block. I love the green kind of like combo cards. I love the Goku Tien and stuff like that. Goku Piccolo. And this is another one. For 1 energy, you're playing this card as long as you have 3 energy. Either your leader is black announcer or is green. And then when Goku's on the board, it gets 5k power and double strike. And when Goku is played, he pops a card and your opponent discards 2 cards from your hand if you have a Chi-Chi on board. So right now, Nick has no cards in his hand, and he's facing 2 double strikes now, a 25k and a 20k. So the strategy is obviously going to go Chi-Chi first. Because he can't block, he can't combo it out. He has to take this 2 damage because his hand's now gone.
Yeah.
And depending on what is in his life, more or less makes or breaks Nick's game plan.
Yeah, there are some strong answers here, and Nick Red could still attack out of order. It doesn't look like he's going to. So, Prime better hope that
that's it. No.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
he didn't
no
get
supers off the life.
No, and that's today's video. It's a little bit shorter, but I mean, we got some. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Bye. I forgot words.